Hello, I'm Douglas Parker with E.L. Robinson Engineering. I'm pleased to provide this final presentation for the Harvey Road Connector Planning and Environmental Linkages Study. This study is being completed for the Wayne County Commissioners in conjunction with KYOVA Interstate Planning Commission. Additional key stakeholders include the West Virginia Division of Highways and Heritage Farm Museum and Village. As a reminder, Harvey Road is located just south of Huntington in Cabell and Wayne counties. We will now summarize the Harvey Road Connector Pell Study project. This graphic summarizes the decision-making process the Harvey Road Connector Pell Study followed. We will now go through each of these steps. Scoping consisted of developing the initial study area, reviewing local plans, conducting a desktop GIS review, using the desktop GIS review information to create a preliminary environmental features map, and incorporating the desktop GIS review information into a start of study letter. Project goal and objectives development consisted of conducting interviews with locals, performing traffic analysis, identifying existing roadway deficiencies, validating the project goal as improve accessibility, mobility, and connectivity within northern Wayne County between Harvey Road and West Virginia 152. And validating the project objectives as 1. Increase overall travel efficiency to the Wayne County section of Harvey Road. 2. Increase transportation redundancy for the Wayne County section of Harvey Road. 3. Reduce exposure to unsafe roadway conditions for all vehicle types. 4. Accommodate transit opportunities within the available project resources. 5. Accommodate bicycle and pedestrian facilities within the available project resources. And 6. Support state, regional, and local plans for increased economic development opportunities. Alternatives development and evaluation involved a two-tier process. First, the 9 initial alternatives were developed. These consisted of 2 upgrade existing alternatives and 7 new location alternatives. Next, the 9 alternatives were subjected to an initial evaluation using the scoping information. 3 alternatives, the 2 upgrade existing and alternative 6, were eliminated. They were eliminated for failure to meet the goal and objectives and substantial potential environmental impacts. At the end of the initial evaluation, 6 alternatives remained. These were new location alternatives 1 through 5 and 7. The 6 remaining alternatives were subjected to a detailed evaluation consisting of developing a more focused design study area, which is shown on this map with the black and white dotted line, developing conceptual roadway designs, which are shown on this map as the colored lines, developing construction cost estimates and construction quantity estimates, an in-depth cultural resources screening conducted by West Virginia Division of Highways, and a field reconnaissance for the presence of threatened and endangered species habitat and potential additional water resources. Resource agency consultation consisted of informing the resource agencies about the Pell study through the September 2020 start of study letter, which presented the scoping information, and an April the 14th virtual workshop, which presented the detailed evaluation information for the 6 remaining alternatives. The resource agencies are anticipated to provide input during the NEPA phase. Public and stakeholder engagement consisted of monthly stakeholder advisory group meetings, an April the 14th virtual public meeting presenting detailed evaluation information for the 6 remaining alternatives, a May 13th in-person open house presenting the detailed evaluation information for the 6 remaining alternatives. The in-person open house was held at Heritage Hall, Heritage Farm Museum and Village. There were 38 attendees. Finally, an article appeared in the May 19th Wayne County News encouraging the public to provide input. In all, there were 28 public responses received. The public ranked their alternative preferences as 3, 4, 5, 1, and 2. Alternative 7 generated public controversy with 9 survey responses against, 1 letter against, and 1 phone call against. A June 8th stakeholder advisory group meeting was held to identify the best alternatives to be carried forward to the NEPA phase. To assist the stakeholder advisory group in identifying the best alternatives, all relevant information gathered to date was presented in this impact matrix. The highest potential impacts were color-coded orange, and the lowest potential impacts were color-coded green. You'll note that alternatives 1, 2, and 7 have the most orange cells. and alternatives 3, 4, and 5 have the most green cells. Based on the findings of this Pell study, the Stakeholder Advisor Group eliminated alternatives 1, 2, and 7 because they had high public controversy, low public support, longer length, higher cost, higher potential environmental impacts, and high potential for utility conflicts. Based on the findings of this Pell study, the Stakeholder Advisor Group recommended alternatives 3, 4, and 5 be carried forward to the NEPA phase because they had high public support, low public controversy, shorter lengths, lower cost, lower potential environmental impacts, and low potential for utility conflicts. The final report is currently under review by the Stakeholder Advisory Group and will be available later this month. An executive summary is also being developed. And to facilitate the project moving to the NEPA phase, the Federal Highway Administration's Pell questionnaire is being completed. This concludes the Harvey Road Connector Pell study. If you have any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to contact us.